Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I'm doing my duty here. It's a PSA. Do not take naked pictures of yourself and put them on the internet anywhere if you don't want people to find them, because you know what? Chances are pretty good somebody's going to get a hold of them that you don't want to get a hold of them. And this happened. A guy hacked Snapchat and stole a whole bunch of nude photos.
Yeah, then he went online and traded them or sold them.
And trade them like what, like NFTs?
Apparently.
I mean, what, Pokemon cards? What? So this is wild. Yeah, so this is coming from The Record in Illinois. Illinois man pleads guilty to hacking hundreds of Snapchat accounts to steal nudes. So we'll talk about that. Just don't. Don't put pictures of yourself on the internet naked. Somebody's going to find them. They're going to find them. Unless you want them to. And if you want them to, you got to be charging money for it. That's how that works, right?
So get paid.
Yeah, get paid for it. You get paid for it. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Hey, go out to Kickstarter. We've got a couple days yet. Back the Crimson Wren re-offer. Thank you very much for the support, guys. You can pick up this graphic novel, again, from a couple of years ago. It's been out of print for a couple of years, and it's got some gorgeous art. And we've also got some other perks that were not available the first time around, so you can pick those up as well. Thank you for that. And no, we don't sell nudes on Kickstarter. I don't think you're allowed to anyway, so...
I don't know. I never really looked. It wasn't something I'm into.
You can get right up against it, though. I've seen some pretty dicey stuff on Kickstarter. There's like, I mean, you're like, what's that?
Wording. You can get right up against it. Wording.
Well, you can. There's some stuff that's like, oh man, this is like, I guess this is drawings. It's not as bad as photographs. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So this Illinois man pleads guilty to hacking hundreds of Snapchat accounts to steal nudes. Kyle Zavara of Oswego. Is it Oswego? Illinois is facing decades in prison. Decades in prison after pleading guilty to aggravated identity theft, wire fraud, computer fraud, conspiracy to commit computer fraud. And I'm sorry. It's like wire fraud, computer fraud, conspiracy to commit computer fraud, thinking about conspiracy to commit computer fraud.
And false statements related to child pornography.
Well,
so that means that some of them are probably underage.
Oh, no.
So basically what he supposedly did was he would try to hack their accounts. And then when it would trigger a code, two-factor authentication code, he would tell them, he would pose as a security person from Snapchat, and then they'd give him the code, and then he'd go in and take what he wanted.
Yeah,
apparently. That's what they're saying.
They say he was charged in December with using social engineering attacks and other methods to gain access to the Snapchat account of young women and girls. He posed as a rep of Snapchat, contacted 570 women demanding security access codes that were prompted by his initial attempts to break into their accounts. It's funny because we would get that sometimes too. Like people are trying to get into our, Instagram account or, Gmail or whatever. And that's why you have to have two-factor on everything. Unfortunately, some people don't know how the internet works. But
even then, they did obviously because they got a code, and then he would take the code and then use it to get into their program.
Yeah, well, don't store pictures like that on Snapchat or anywhere. And we'll talk a little bit about Discord too, because Discord is I did a short on it, but they had a breach last fall, and now they're asking for ID to even use Discord. It's kind of crazy.
Well, I think that has a lot more to do with the fact that you have all these people on Roblox. There was accusations that kids are going over there to do meetups, and then they're getting attacked or disappeared or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so it could. I mean, let's be honest. The way things are now, it could be a lot worse than just getting nudes. It could be like, luring people to,
I don't know. I mean, yes, but I mean, nudes is pretty bad too, especially they're selling these pictures, nude pictures of women and girls. And he was selling the photos. So basically he got in, and then he said he would sell them. He went on to sell the images online and trade them with others on internet forums.
Like Pokemon cards.
Yes.
Oh God, well, I'm sure that's like a thing that happens. It's not a thing I do, but I'm sure it's a thing that happens.
Yeah, you had to clarify.
He marketed his tactics to others on the internet.
Yeah, offering. Yeah, so as I say, offering to break in people. So what happened was people took him up on it. So he was hired at least one instance by Steve, is it Waith,
I
a
guess.
former track and field coach at Northeastern University,
It's always the gym teachers.
to hack
Always.
into the Snapchat accounts of women on the team or others he knew
Oh
personally.
man.
And that guy got convicted and sentenced to 5 years in prison on charges of wire fraud and cyber stalking. And then he was hired by other people to stalk and hack into women's accounts and target women and girls in Plainsfield, Illinois, and Colby College at Waterville, Maine.
Wow. Okay, this is right up there. With I mean, they had the thing with the T app too. They were having people's details were getting leaked and
Well, this
like
guy was stealing their pictures and then their nudes, including nudes of children, and then
Yeah.
selling them. Which why are you? I mean, because I guess they're teenage girls, but why? Talk to your girls.
still
Tell them not to
minors, yeah.
Tell your kids not to take pictures of their tits.
So yeah, exactly. Why were your kids taking pictures of their?
I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying talk to your children. I don't think that they don't understand that it's not protected.
I think just okay. So just in general, right? Just assume anybody can read any of your DMs. Just assume anybody can get a hold of pictures that you've posted, even in quote unquote private messages, because they can. People at the companies, even if they have a reason to, they will turn your information over to the government, right? They'll buckle. I mean, we had what was it? I think it was Microsoft. Probably Microsoft sounds like something they would do, but they buckled as soon as the government came knocking and said, "Hey, you got to turn the files over." And anybody working at any of these social media companies that has access to the back end, no pun intended, they could get into your stuff. And so if you're posting, illegal shit or trying to buy and sell illegal shit or nudes or whatever the hell it is, just assume somebody else can get a hold of it.
Right. So
And
you
people
don't
don't do
do
that.
that. Talk to your kids and make sure they aren't doing that. But I guess they said that when he was pressed about his actions, he denied accessing or selling child sexual abuse materials, but apparently he did.
Yeah.
And the FBI and DOJ urged anyone who may have been impacted to come forward. And then they said last year DOJ indicted a former University of Michigan assistant football coach for hacking the student athlete database.
Damn.
And then that's probably they found him, but this whole thing's messed up. So go ahead.
I was going to say my takeaway from this is don't go to college and don't use the internet.
No, that's not the takeaway for it. But this is insane.
It is insane, but I mean, look, just assume this could happen. So don't post pictures of yourself naked on Snapchat. Don't send people nudes or death threats or any of that shit on Facebook, because just assume somebody at Facebook or the government could get a hold of it.
Well, there's another person they're mentioning in here, and this is Weiss, and he hacked into the social media email and cloud storage accounts of more than 2,000 target athletes, as well as another 1,300 students and alumni from universities across the country. He targeted female college athletes, researched and targeted these women based on their social or school affiliation, athletic history, and physical characteristics. And his goal was to obtain private photographs and videos never intended to be shared beyond intimate partners.
I mean, I don't even. I mean, there's so much to unpack here. Very, very wrong what this guy did, but also
There's multiple guys apparently.
Yeah, but also I'm like, you take that risk every time. I mean, people are like, well, Snapchat disappears. I'm like,
Apparently not.
not completely. You can find
Well, that's
it.
what I think. That's what I think these kids were counting on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's and by kids and young people, they're just like they're not fully developed in their brains. Let's be honest here. You don't get fully developed in your brains until like you're in your 20s. So you don't think things through. You don't always see the cause and effect. And especially this younger generation, for some reason, they cannot see cause and effect like we used to be able to see it. And they just can't. They just think, okay, it's Snapchat disappears. I'll send it real quick. It's gone, but it's not apparently. And
Nothing's
they can still
gone
get
on
in
the
there,
internet,
yeah,
yeah.
and they still get into it and see it. And how many cases have we heard of kids sending like a boy they like pictures of their boobs or something, and then next thing you know, the whole school has it. It's just teach your kids, what can happen. Explain it doesn't disappear. And, for a moment of appreciation from somebody you like, it could be a lifetime of problem trying to get it removed because, you did that. And I think people just need to talk to their kids more.
Yeah, so there are going to be a lot of interesting things happen, I think. Just kind of, segue into this real quick. And I did a whole nother video about it, so you guys can go find that. But the Discord situation, people are freaking out because of the ID requirements. And we're inching toward digital ID becoming a thing, right?
Yeah,
they're
no
going
one
to
wants
use
that.
it. They're going to use incidents like this to be like, this is why you need to be age verified, whatever. So we don't have minors sending nudes or whatever through social media. Really, it's the companies don't want the liability of it either. And I'm going to tell you, God help you if all of the Discord information gets dumped at some point, because there was a data breach in the fall. But you want to talk about places where there's probably a lot of really bad shit going on. Discord is one of the first ones I think of.
Yeah, I don't go to Discord at all.
And I think a lot of people aren't going to go because they want their privacy or whatever. And I mean, I get it, but I'm also like, I am also aware that a lot of crazy shit goes on at Discord. I think this is where a lot of people are planning beyond the sexual stuff. They're also planning like political violence and all, so it's, yeah, but just be aware, even though it's like, quote unquote, your Discord or your Snapchat account or your private message group, whatever, if you're on somebody else's platform, hell, even if it's your own platform and you're hosted on somebody else's server, that information can be compromised.
Access it easy.
Yeah. And they will. They'll throw you under the bus. We had a website, it was like 15 years ago. And you posted some pictures of some Monster High dolls or something that got leaked.
It was Monster High dolls. Yeah.
Monster High, just freaking dolls, right? And Mattel contacted our ISP. They didn't even contact us.
Not us.
They contacted the ISP and they took the whole site down until we took that article down. And
if they just asked us, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know," and I would have taken it down. But they didn't do that. They went right to the people that we were hosted on and threatened them, and then they took us down, and it caused a big problem. And all they had to do was ask, and I would be like, "Okay."
Yeah, that's all they had to do.
They have reached out to us before for things we took it down when they asked nicely. We didn't have to, but we did because they asked nicely.
Yeah, if they asked nicely, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, like, even if your site or your forum or whatever is hosted on somebody else's platform and there's sleazy stuff going on in the DMs or private messages or whatever, you could be responsible for it, right? They can get a hold of it. So like, don't be stupid. That's the best advice I can give you. But people, they really do think that there's privacy on the internet. And I don't think there really is. Anyway, are we going to wrap this up?
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.